Welcome to The Explainer. So, when we think about mentorship, we almost always picture this kind of classic master and apprentice dynamic, right? Like an expert literally pouring their wisdom into an empty vessel. But today, we are fundamentally redefining that whole relationship. We're going to be exploring this absolutely fascinating text titled Mentor as a Reflections Board. And let me tell you, it challenges pretty much everything we assume about how we grow, and maybe most importantly, where our life's purpose actually comes from. So let's just jump right in.
To kick things off, let's start with a massive, profound question. Are we born with a true calling? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that has kept philosophers awake for centuries. Think about it for a second. Is your purpose out there in the world, just waiting to be discovered like some sort of hidden treasure? Or is it something else entirely? Well, our source manuscript doesn't pull any punches. It starts by tackling this exact question head on.
Okay, let's dive into this. The author states that they have come to believe people are born with their true calling built in inside them. Now, what really stands out here is the context behind these words. This wasn't just some fleeting shower thought. This is a realization that came from years and years of closely observing people strive, fail, and succeed. And the ultimate takeaway? Your inner purpose isn't something you acquire along the way. It is already right there.
I really want us to just kind of meditate slowly on this specific phrase for a second. Built in. Because, honestly, it completely changes the game. If your true calling is built in, well, it means your purpose isn't this external thing you have to frantically go searching for in your career, or in other people, or by chasing external validation. It means you already possess it. The raw material of exactly who you are meant to be is sitting right there inside of you, like a factory setting. But of course, that naturally leads to the next question. If it's already there, why aren't we all just effortlessly living out our true callings every single day? Well, the author has an answer for that too.
Part 1. Breaking the conditioned shell.
This brilliantly illustrates the core conflict we all face. On one side, we're trapped in this heavy, limiting shell of conditioned apprehensions and doubts. And notice that word, conditioned. That's absolutely crucial. These doubts, they aren't natural to us. They're learned over time. So the ultimate goal, the real work, is breaking through that heavy barrier so you can cross over to the right side and start manifesting your true colors. Breaking that learned shell is the whole ballgame.
So how do we actually break it? Well, the source text tells us that individuals must realize that they themselves have the agency to break out of that shell. Let's just pause to focus heavily on that word, agency. The author isn't saying a mentor comes along and hands you the hammer to break the shell. No, the author is saying you already hold the hammer. You have the inherent agency to shatter those conditioned doubts yourself. But having agency and actually acting on it are two very different things. The author is essentially challenging you to wake up to your own power.
And the author definitely doesn't leave us hanging here. They detail the exact, highly demanding prerequisites you need to actually use that agency. To manifest your true colors, the text outlines these specific steps. First up, you've got to muster courage. Second is strength. And what's super interesting is how the author categorizes this. It's not just one flavor of strength. You need mental strength, physical strength, and even financial strength. Finally, step 3 is determination. So why is this also urgent? Why all these intense prerequisites? Well, the author gives us a really sobering reality check right in the text because we have to do all of this in our precious and short lifetime. The clock is ticking, folks, and the heavy lifting is entirely on us.
Part 2. Who walks the walk?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the profound sense of humility it brings to the whole process. The author flat out admits, there is little I can do to mentor people into something better. I mean, wow. That completely dispels the popular myth that a mentor's job is to somehow mold you or fix you or turn you into a success story. It's such a striking, honest admission that strips away all the ego we usually associate with the grand title of mentor.
Instead, the author hits us with a very blunt reality about mentees. They themselves have to walk their walk. I really want you to let that serve as a central mantra for this entire philosophy. Walk their walk. I'll say it again. Walk your walk. The absolute crucial point here is that all the initiative, all the forward momentum, it literally has to come purely from within you. A mentor cannot walk the path for you. If you want to manifest your true colors, your own feet have to hit the pavement.
Part 3. Redefining the mentor's role.
So if they can't walk for you, what do they do? The author offers this brilliant list of what a mentor can be, at best. Just look at these unique labels. A catalyst, someone who sparks a reaction but isn't consumed by it. A momentary handholder, giving you some brief support but definitely not carrying you. A cheerleader, offering encouragement from the sidelines. A vibe brother, which, come on, it's just such a great phrase. It implies this horizontal, equal relationship where someone simply shares your energy, rather than some superior bossing you around. And finally, the title of our source material itself, a reflections board. Every single one of these labels is about supportive companionship. It's a total rejection of top-down direction or control.
Let's do a really deep dive into that core concept of a reflections board. Based on the source text, we can define it roughly like this. It's a supportive presence allowing individuals to clearly see their own ideas, agency, and true calling. Think about what a board of reflection, like a literal mirror, actually does in the real world. It doesn't create the image. It definitely doesn't fix the image. It just bounces the light back so you can actually see yourself clearly. In the eyes of the author, a true mentor simply reflects the mentee's own built-in true colors right back at them, helping them finally see past all those conditioned doubts.
But hey, that doesn't mean the mentor just ghosts you and disappears completely. The author makes a very clear point to say, I always try my best to be available for them. So they step back to let the mentee walk, sure, but they remain this constant, available presence. Sometimes, they note, they can even act as an idea sponsor. Now, this means they might help facilitate or back a mentee's idea, but crucially, and this is key, it is still the mentee's idea. The mentor is just providing a safe little greenhouse for that idea to grow.
Part 4. The individual's initiative.
Grounding this whole abstract philosophy back into the author's own typed words, we arrive at their final concluding thought. The initiative should ideally be from the individual. And honestly, that is the ultimate summary of the whole thing. Because the calling is already built in, and because the mentor is merely a reflections board, that initial spark, that very first step, it absolutely has to come from you.
And so I want to conclude today's explainer by turning the author's philosophy right back onto you. We've seen that your true calling isn't lost, it's already built in. We've seen that the mentors in your life aren't there to build you from scratch. They are just there to reflect your own brilliant colors back to you. The path is entirely yours to walk. So the only real question left to ask is, are you ready to take the initiative? It's a short, precious lifetime, guys. I really hope this breakdown has helped you see your own agency just a little more clearly today. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and never stop learning.